Hello and welcome back to Rallying the Forge. I'm Solimer, and we are back. Been away for a little bit with some real life stuff, but I am back and gonna be making videos again, and hopefully you'll see me in and around the game a little bit more than I've been the past month and a half. I just want to give kind of a community update on what's been happening in the game and going on, what's coming up in the near future. So let's jump into the Discord first. And so this weekend coming up, we have a storyline event happening. Next month, starting October 6th, I believe, we have a monthly league starting up. And that league is going to kind of run... It's going to run October, then there'll be one November, then January. But we'll get into those details with that stuff and go through all that stuff. And then, of course, we have regular events going on as well. We're nearing the end of the month of September, so not a lot of events are posted yet for October for the regular stuff, but I'm sure the Forge Guardians running those will get those up. We had a patch just the other day, and it says fixed issue where certain spells would be undone when dragging into play, and medals for previous events have been added and will be passed out in the next couple days, so probably next week. I don't think they've been handed out yet, and it's getting late in the day on a Friday. So they also post about the storyline event happening this weekend. So it says each Friday they'll be releasing 50 decks on Magic Eden in anticipation for the monthly league, which we'll get into again. So when he posted that on the 19th, it says we added 50 Battle for Whitefang Pass decks. So I assume they're going to do different sets because the monthly league, you're going to be using all the sets. So, and the storyline event, which we'll probably cover first, is a Tempest Trials storyline event, and we don't have a whole lot of details yet. Let me pop over to Chrome here real quick while I'm on this page. These are the events coming up. We have the Bronze Crucible moving to Friday nights right now, 8 p.m., same start time as before. Convert that for your local time. And then, as I said, we have the storyline event happening tomorrow. That's at 5 p.m., so it's an hour later than what you would normally see for the Saturday Sealed Showdown, which is at 4 p.m. So just be aware it's an hour later. They estimate it's only going to take a couple hours. And then, of course, down here you can see the league runs October 6th through November 3rd, and then I assume they're going to have one from like the 4th to whatever date that's going to be. So we'll get through all that stuff here. So what's the first one up? Let's get to the storyline event here. This is the event page. And description just says, the Tempests are known for their ability to brave the elements to become more powerful warriors. Every once in a while, they challenge the other factions of Solus to compete against one another in these trials. Being the first to complete certain challenges will bring pride and glory to their faction. Speed, skill, and adaptability are needed for this event, and each team races to complete certain challenges within the game. More details will be shown at the event. The event will at most take 2 hours. Registration's obviously already up. In addition to signing up for this event, you must also fill out this form, which is the link there, to see what team you'll be put into. The sooner you submit, the more likely you are to get your top choice. So the form, you fill out 3 choices in order that you'd like what faction you want to be part of, I guess. No idea how this plays into anything. So I'm trying to think. I think Luke has posted something in. Let me see if I can find it in the Discord real quick. So he just says, I'll clarify that in my post today because someone asked about decks. But there'll be no deck restrictions. No restrictions. Besides the ones he gives you at the event. So that's going to be curious. that's going to work. So it's kind of all mystery. Storyline events are traditionally very fun events. They normally have extra essential kind of effects or abilities or things that affect you that are not normally part of the game. Normally in physical storyline events, you get like a storyline card, and it's got different things that apply to when you play the game. Digitally, I did one, and it was through TTS, and that was a lot of fun. We did get a card on there that had effects that affected the game. This one will be through the client, and we know it does not yet have those types of capabilities, but maybe soon, maybe one day. They did just get the AWS updated, so that hopefully is behind them, and they're able to move forward with getting things updated and whatnot. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. I will be streaming that, and hopefully that goes well. So that's going to be the Storyline event. If you haven't signed up, register. We have 21 players signed up so far. So should be a lot of fun. Hopefully you can make it. And we'll see what it brings. Now we're going to talk about the monthly league for October. And I wanted to talk about this because I did make a spreadsheet for it that you can use to help find decks through your collection. And I'm going to go through that. We're going to find my decks. We'll see how easy it is to find something that I really want to use or how I want to do this. I've been debating back and forth on what I want to do, but we'll see. We'll see how this goes. So, as you can see on the screen, I'll read though. Each week you'll be matched up with an opponent. It's up to the two of you to schedule time to make that work, depending on where you are in the world. If you go, so it's best of 3. Should say that it's best of 3 matches, and then at the end of the event, so it's over 4 weeks. You'll play 4 rounds essentially over the month. If you go 3-1 or 4-0 in any of the months, you'll be invited to an invitational at the end of February with prizing valued at over $10,000. You do not need to play each month. As soon as you go 3-1 or 4-0, you'll be set. You may switch decks between each month and before the invitational. So just because you submitted certain decks October does not mean you need to play with them in November. So how this works is you're going to bring 4 decks, and you're going to submit them through a spreadsheet he's got set up. And the rules for the 4 decks are this. You must cover all 4 factions. Let me zoom in a little bit, make it bigger, easier to see perhaps. Cover all 4 factions. Cover all 4 sets. Legendary drop sets will count as their associated set that they fell into, so you can look at the other cards in that deck to see what set they actually ended up in. Each faction can only show up twice between the 4 fused decks, so that means you must use each faction 2 times exactly. Creatures or modifiers, and this accounts spells, although it's not written here. He did clarify it includes spells. Creatures, spells, and modifiers of rare or higher cannot show up in multiple fuses. So he gives some examples here. Shambling Apparition and Shambling Demon cannot be in 2 separate fused decks. However, they can be in the same deck. So he's also got another example of a Shambler. He's also got an example of only one deck may have Krogaius in it. However, you could have a Betrayer Krogaius in that same deck and have 2. So as we said, it's a best of 3 format. So of the 4 decks, they're going to be submitted and then eventually they'll be shared. And before you play your opponent, you will ban one of their decks. They cannot use that against you. They ban one of yours, you ban one of theirs, and now both players have 3 decks to choose from. Then you play. The winner of round 1, so when you win with a deck, you cannot use that deck against that opponent again. So then you must switch your deck. If you lose, you can still use the same deck if you choose. All right, that's pretty good. So on this sheet, which I feel like he put up somewhere, I did post it on the Discord, but you can see the symbols for the sets, for the rarity. I've highlighted in yellow what is considered rare. If it's in this category, it is considered rare. So just so you know, these are all the symbols you may see. I know the legendary drop symbols are kind of not great, but the best I could do. They didn't have any official files for them that I could use for the images. I had to screenshot, modify, and do some editing. But these are all the symbols. So these are all the rares. All the highlighted rows are rare cards. So this is the sheet. It's empty right now, of course. So we have, let me see if you can see the tabs barely, but so we have this one. This is going to be the deck sheet. And then we have a sheet called Valid Decks and a sheet called Collection Manager. And the Collection Manager sheet is going to be your Collection Manager. Well, you know what I need to do first? Go to make a copy right here. Okay, so I've pasted in my Collection Manager, and then I still got my Collection Manager open, of course. I'm going to click off that. So I'm going to look at fused decks. So I got the event page open. I want to go back to the rules for the decks to make sure I have that as a reference. We're going to start. I'm going to show you kind of how this can work. So you're going to take a deck that you want to use, and we're going to paste its deck link into there. So in the Collection Manager, you can, of course, pull your fused decks. So I took a deck, though, and I want to use that deck. So now you have to put at least one deck, and then it'll start filtering with the valid decks. You can put multiple decks. You can put 3 decks. So we're going to start with 1, and then we'll just we'll do 3 to show you, and then we'll back it out. Okay? It's going to make me probably have permissions here. So now it came back and gave some information. So it checks the deck, both halves, says invalid renown gold. So that's another thing I don't think I mentioned. I don't know if he said it there. Yeah, it doesn't have it in here. So the decks have to be unranked, bronze, or silver. Silver is the highest level they can be. You cannot have gold or platinum. So there's that. Let's just pick. Alrighty. So I'm adding 2 more decks. We're just going to run 3 decks through here. And also before I run it again, so it ran valid decks and it returned to me the decks that are still valid, which is basically all of them. There was only a small amount eliminated based on that first one. But now we're going to run this again, and it's going to update us and update our valid decks list for us. So it tells me that I've reused these Rare Plus cards and what deck they were found in. So it didn't post it the first time, but that was supposed to be there, and that was the info, but now it overrode it finally. So it says I need 1 more Tempest and 1 more Necrium half decks. I need at least 1 set 3, and I need at least 1 set 4 deck. And need exactly 4 fused decks. Let's delete these out of here, and let's go find a deck I do want to use. And I do not like how this is highlighting. So I've got to think here. So the 4 factions, obviously, where are they weakest, right? So, like, let's start with the Loyan. Loyan is going to be weakest in set 2, set 3. Set 2 and 3, I think it's the weakest in, maybe. But it's strongest in set 1, in my opinion. In set 4, maybe you could do something with that, but I don't really know. I don't know that I have an Alolan deck in set 4 that I really like. I've got a lot of decks built. Ideally, I'd already have these decks built, and I would just use what I have built. I don't want to make new fuses, but I'm probably going to have to. What we could get out of Alolan is a Dark Forge deck. So that is an option. It's something I hadn't thought about. My problem is that eats up a new Terra slot for me. Is this the deck I want to use, though? Where's the other version? Where's version 1? I got 2 and 3 here. Does he have it? So the bottom half is my son's collection. His decks. On his account. Yeah, he's got that one. So I stole his idea. And made it my own. I do have this version. So, again, both Dark Forged. I wonder, do they have the same? No, they're all different. These ones have SolForges in them. I think I got these in an SolForge event at some point when Set 4 came out. They ran an event, and they ran a sealed event, and everyone got decks with SolForge in the name. And I might have got these together at that time. I'm not positive. This is an interesting one. I feel like this one I feel like this is one I played and I really liked it with the system upgrade. I just don't know how competitive it's gonna be against other decks. Like it was definitely a fun deck to play, and system upgrade, I remember the first time I got to use the level 3 version was just awesome. And then you got like Void Plate Yeti with all the damage you're taking. That just wiped the board. It was pretty awesome. And then I took all this damage and whatnot, but then I had Vita Sprout that was healing me back up. Man. And I've got this version, which also has a biologist in it. I feel like this version lends itself more just towards the Utera half. I wonder if I want to go with... I just noticed that. I could have paired the Alolan and this Utera halves together, and I'd have double Dark Forge loyalty in a deck. Never noticed that. Yeah, this deck I think has a lot more life gain. I don't know. We'll try it. We're gonna try this. We're gonna start with this. So I go over to my sheet, paste in my link, and then we'll have it clear all this info out and update itself. Of course, it's legal. They're both set 4. It's Utera Loyan, so set 4 is covered now. I think ideally I would only use one set 4 deck. In a different build I looked at, I think my throwaways were a set 3 and set 4 deck. So basically through looking with this, I've had come to the conclusion, I feel like, that I can only get 3 strong decks, and then I have to have like a throwaway. And then knowing one of the 3 strong decks is going to get banned, I have 2 other decks to play with. So I'm wondering if starting with this deck, which I can always change it, but starting with this deck maybe helps me build the rest of the decks I want, perhaps. So that's not the one I took. I think I did this one. So let's look now. I'd kind of like RSE, but this might cause a different conflict. I gotta let it finish running, so it's gonna be basically everything's still on the table for what I can use. It's just taking a really long time to add those decks back to the valid decks. So everything's updated. We'll add this in now and rerun this. So I don't think there shouldn't be any overlap because this is a set 2 and probably a set 1. Yeah, set 1 Necrium. So set 3 is going to be the hard one for me. I do have... Is this... This is a set 3, but it's Necri Mutera. I don't know... Then I'd have to do Aloyan Tempest. Oof. I don't know if I want to do that. So this was my RC deck that I chose. I top 8'd in one of the SOS qualifiers with it. I also missed the top cut with it one time. It's hit or miss. So, you know what would be fun? I have a fun... deck. This deck would be fun. Maybe we'll try this deck as my 3rd deck. I don't know what sets. What was it? Both set 1. So I'm gonna have to. That's a problem. I'm gonna have to have a set 3 deck. What are the factions gonna be? So it's gonna be Aloyan. No, I used Aloyan and Necrium. So it's gonna be Terra Tempest. Ooh. So we just have to have set 3 as one of the decks. I can't filter this by that. The Fused Decks doesn't have the set. I have to go by my memory, and it's not the best. I doubt this one has set 3 in it. No, it's set... Oh, this has set 4, though. Ooh, interesting. Do I use this one instead, and then I get rid of my first deck? This is intriguing. That way I only use one set 4 deck. 'Cause I'm not big on set 4. Like Necrium set 4 and Utera for set 4 are probably my two favorite to play out of it. I'm not fond on Aloyan, and Tempest is meh, but I want to use Necrium from other sets preferably, but it's not the end of the world, I guess, if I use it here, because this is a Rallying Captain deck, which is similar but different to what I'm doing with this deck in a way. And we'll show the valid decks list over here. I haven't gone over to it, but you can see it come in. So it should populate. Yeah, so you can see no Necrium here. And it's... So I had 4,000 decks to start with, and I've only got 1,100 choices left. Okay, that's a lot of choices, but I've only submitted 2 decks. So I can't use Necrium anymore. That sucks. But it does free me up. So I need Utera Tempest and Utera Aloyan. Oh, this is still tough. So I'm gonna hold off on the Utera Aloyan because I was gonna go for a Drix deck of some nature, but what I think I'm gonna go with first is see if I have something with set 3. I've got. Well, I wonder what these are. I don't know if these are probably both set 4. Set 4. Set 4. So I was afraid of. But they're probably my best Tempest Utera decks. Off the top of my head, let's see what else we might have. Oh, you know what? This one might be interesting. This set 4, unfortunately. Yeah, that one is fun, but not consistent enough. Eric's isn't doing enough. I doubt any of these are set 3. If one of them is, I'll probably take it. Set 2. Legendary Dinos. There's a chance it could be set 3. It's set 4 and set 2. I don't have a lot of good set 3 decks. I know that much to be true. This one's probably set 4. Yeah. What if any of his are set 3? No, set 1. Set 4 and set 1. There's a set 3. I don't really like that deck though, even though it does have a Mantis. Okay. So I'll go with this, and I'm gonna have to make a deck. So we've got to do this, and we're gonna try and we're gonna find a set 3 Utera half. And I'll pair it with my Aloyan half. Which means I'm gonna have to go to my fused decks. Oops. Three set 4 decks out of this. I don't know if I like that. So what you're seeing is the difficulty with these is trying to hit all the requirements. Obviously, that's the hard part. It'd be a lot easier if I wasn't looking at just pre-made decks, and I was going through the valid decks list and making decks from this list. So, for example, I already know what loin half I want, so I'm going to go over to set 3, and we're going to clear. We only want set 3. There is a set 3 Dino deck I'll include because we can use it. And this gives me, I didn't filter by loin or Utera, so faction over here, click off a loin, and now we've got our deck choices that I can search from. So I don't care about Forgeborn. That's not going to matter for this for me. What I need is, let's look here. Let me pull open what I've got with this one. So obviously, Kragaius is nice. Spring Dryad. I got a Charger, Reveller, Botanimate. So I don't have a whole lot of actual minion generation on this side. Oh, that's what I also want to look for, is maybe some replacement. Let's see. The other deck I think has more for replacement. Problem is it's set 1, so I'll have to see what Splicer's there. You know, I wonder if Relentless Wanderer should be in set 3. Yeah. Okay. Oh, that's fun, actually. I just see that. I got a Betrayer Drone Hive. Oh, it's a Dino deck, too. Nice. It won't show the picture for that. Got a Delver. Lurker doesn't matter. Tremorsaur. Delver's nice. Wanderers. Got a Drone Hive. That could be useful. I would like to have Botanimate, though. Assuming we need the Wanderers because we want that. It says Raycor. That's interesting too. What is... I can't see his picture, but when a creature with higher attack than this comes into play, double this creature's attack. I don't think that's the right fit. Do have some Botanimates up here. This does have Echo Wolves to give me some cards to replace stuff with for Apocamancer. What does this one give me? That's an interesting idea. Won't be using that, so that doesn't matter. I don't know what I want to use here. Oh, that's interesting. Preserved habitat with it. Let's try this. See if we have any others. I wish I could filter for 2 words on here, but cannot. This is probably the best we're gonna do. It's not so bad. All right. And the other deck, where's the collection manager? The party. Oof. Okay. So now I've got to get the deck link, and let's see if this is valid. All that work, and we still don't even know if it's valid. It should be, right? Oh. It might not be with that other Aloyan set 1 there. We're going to find out. I didn't think to check that other deck. Oh, I'm betting it's going to be illegal. Son of a gun. All right. Well, I'm not going to sit here for hours on end doing this. It's probably been boring enough for most people, unfortunately. But I do have one more surprise. All right. I have a possible spoiler for the Legendary Scientist drop. There we go. So one of the new cards, obviously the icon's just whatever, but Cyphron Chrome 36410 814 Metamind Scientist. Players cannot gain health. How about that? So another card that looks to impact life gain decks. It's quite interesting. Again, it's a creature, just like Pyrax, but This is also unofficial, so we don't know if this is going to be certain or not, but perhaps, not sure. Maybe they decide to change it. I don't know, but my guess is this is what the card's going to be. It's definitely an interesting take and pretty cool because it's going to be able to end up in any set, because it's going to be a legendary drop. So if you get this, it could be in a set 1, set 3, set 4, Alolan half deck, and of course, with life gain still being the top archetype, this is going to be a good card to have in your deck. I feel like Pyrax, the design behind them meant well, but it didn't pan out, and I think part of that is because set 4 Tempest just isn't that great. Set 4 in general is just not that great, except Necrium, of course. But yeah, this could be an interesting card, I think, and really excited to see what else they're going to have coming out with the scientists. So yeah, so we'll see what else there is out there. Feel free to leave a comment, thoughts on the card itself. Do you think this is going to go the way of Pyrax, where it just doesn't really work and it's not great? Or is this card going to be a great addition for Alolan? That's all we have. Thanks for being here and watching. Be sure to like the video, subscribe, and comment. Let me know what your thoughts are on the new card that I spoiled, and hopefully we'll have more as we go on. So thanks for your time. Take care, everyone. See you guys next time.